Harry Dent here on January the 14th. Now the $1 trillion question today, has this stock market finally peaked after the greatest bubble under totally artificial means, no demographics driving, in fact, contraire, okay? No other trends, total stimulus, greatest bubble from 2009 into late 2021, now very early 2022. The S&P has been the last to peak thus far in a progression of tops. That's why I think this could really be a top, okay? All this progression. NASDAQ last peak was November 22nd, and it keeps going back, okay? So we need to see follow through. As of today's, looks like it's open. The NASDAQ's down 11% from the top, S&P 5%. Russell 2000, obviously a little more risky, 13%, and then biotech, most leading edge and volatile, 22% in stocks, and Bitcoin, the biggest bubble, most volatile of all, and not the bubble hedge, Bitcoin down 41%. So this, up until frankly yesterday, this was not looking like a top to me, but it's down yesterday, looks to be down more today. So we're gonna keep looking. And I look back at the past, the Dow in 1929, the leading index, large cap back then, was down 4.7% in the first 2 weeks of that crash, which ended up being down 49% in 2.6 months, okay? So we're on track for that with the S&P 500 here. So that's the good news. So far, it's looking good. The NASDAQ in 2000 was down 6.7% in the first 2 weeks. And again, compare that to maybe next Monday or Tuesday. So we're getting close to that. So you know, NASDAQ's down 11% here. So we are in line thus far, but we do need to see follow through. So the rest of January, and I'd say early February, is going to tell us a little more conclusively whether we've seen a top in stocks or not. And remember, and this is so important, nobody is going to get this. The first crash historically of the 7 great bubbles of the last century plus, 41% in 2.6 months, okay? Half the crash tends to come in the first couple of months. Nobody thinks that's what happens. History says it happens darn near every time, okay? My megaphone pattern and the fact that this bubble is so much more stretched says the first crash is likely to see as low as 2,000 on the S&P 500. Look that up. It's been 4808 at the top, okay? That's a 58% decline potential in the first 2 to 3 months, okay? 54% minimum, okay? So this is going to be major if it happens. We are on track only because of the last 2 days. I was about to give up and say, oh, it's not a top. So I am going to keep you updated. This is a critical time for the markets. I think the next 2 to 3 weeks should confirm more if we've seen a top or not. And of course, 2 months from now, say into early March, we should know very conclusively. But I think just if we continue to follow this trajectory of 29 and 2000 in the NASDAQ, I think we'll get a better feeling. But this is the first time it does finally look like we could have seen a top in stocks. And again, also remember the end game. It was 89% in the crash of this magnitude on the 90-year cycle, which is the biggest cycle, bubble cycle for stocks. And I am projecting it could be as much as 87% for the S&P, and of course a little more maybe for the NASDAQ. So this is going to be pretty similar to that. So this is nothing to take lightly, as you know from listening to me. But thus far, it does look like it's happening, and keep looking for updates in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure there's going to be at least a few. Thanks for listening.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race. You're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.